Okay, page 192, A Dream of Red Mansions. To everyone's surprise, one morning a crab apple tree near the Happy Red Court that seemed to have died and withered suddenly began to bloom again. Everyone went there to look at the new flower, and even the Lady Dowager had to see it for herself. This is a very peculiar crab apple, is supposed to blossom around the 3rd month. It is now the 11th month, though I suppose the worms might have encouraged the trees to bloom. The Lady Dowager said, "Perhaps the blossom is a sign that Bao Yu is soon to receive some good news," Li Wan said, with a smile. However, Tan Chun was thinking the opposite, that if plants had a link to fate, then blossom come out of season must herald something bad. Dai Yu was delighted with this idea of Bao Yu getting good luck and said, "This is a proof that the natural world is closely bound with the world of people. Bao Yu is working hard at his studies, and everyone is happy with him, so the crab apple tree has come back to life." So the crab apple tree, everyone was looking at it, what is going on? And even the Lady Dowager came to see. Some people say this is a good sign, like Lady Dowager, and some people say if something happened out of nature, it must be a bad sign. Anyway, it's a good topic to discuss, right? Page 193, Bao Yu was changing his clothes in order to greet Lady Dowager one afternoon, and he took off his piece of jade and left it on a beside table. He did not think of it again until after the Lady Dowager had departed, when he found with a shock that it was no longer on the beside table. He called Xi Ren to help him look for it, but neither of them could find it anywhere. Xi Ren was so nervous she began to shiver and sweat. When Li Wan and Tan Chun heard about this, they came to Bao Yu's room and suggested that perhaps Jia Huan was playing a trick on him. Ping Er was sent to bring Jia Huan to them, where he was asked if he knew where the piece of jade was. Jia Huan blushed at the question and stuttered that he was not a thief. Lady Wang was the next person to come to the room. Once inside, she asked to be told exactly what had happened. She listened carefully, then said that everyone should keep the disappearance a secret. Meanwhile, she introduced Xi Ren. She instructed Xi Ren that she had 3 days to find the piece of jade. Bao Yu's jade was put on a beside table, and then he could not find it later on. And the Lady Wang asked Xi Ren, "I give you 3 days, you find out or not, you know." When Li Wan was discussing When Li Wang was discussing it with the others, Xiu Yan remembered that she had heard that Miao Yu was able to consult the spirit through writing in sand. Are we missing any page? We are not missing any page. Writing spirit through consult the spirit through writing in sand. Since the piece of jade is said to have strong powers, it should be easy for the spirit to locate. Wow, GPS with sand. Everyone agreed, and Xiu Yan dutifully set off to find Miao Yu in the green lettuce nunnery. Green lettuce nunnery, not lettuce. Xiu Yan found Miao Yu without any difficulty and instantly asked her to call the spirit. Miao Yu sneered and claimed to know nothing about such matters. She then began to walk away and did not turn around until Xiu Yan shouted out that terrible things would happen to Xi Ren and the other servants if she did not help them. She got up and curtsied to her several times. Miao Yu sighed. Why do you go so far just to help others? I will help you. Why do you go so far just to help others? I will help you, but do not mention it to others, or else I will be pestered with questions every day. They stood by a sandboard and, after saying a number of prayers and incantations, the brush in Miao Yu's hand began to move. It traced out the word. It was found and lost so easily by the oldest tree, by the Blue Ridge pig. To find it, you must scale mountains and enter a gate with a smile that you will find again. Miao Yu admitted that she did not know what the message meant. Gosh, these messages are a little bit confusing. Since she had become an imperial concubine in the Phoenix Palace, Yuan Chun had grown fat and lazy. Oh, this is Yuan Chun. Yuan Chun has promoted and become lazy. The least bit of exertion now had her coughing and wheezing. She had caught a cold when returning to her rooms after waiting on the emperor at a large banquet, and her health rapidly deteriorated. Her throat became blocked and her limbs became numb. The palace physician offered a number of medicines, but none proved a success. When they could no longer think of any other option, the official at the palace sent for her female relatives and told them to prepare for the eventuality that she might soon die. When the Lady Dowager and Lady Wang arrived at Yuan Chun's bedside, they found she could not even speak. She seemed distressed to see her relatives, but could not cry. The officials quickly informed them that it it would not be appropriate for them to stay there. So despite their heavy heart, they waited outside, each woman holding back her tears. Lady Dowager and all the ladies came to see Yuan Chun, and Yuan Chun is dying. They waited outside the bedroom only a short time before a eunuch came out to fetch the imperial astrologer. The Lady Dowager knew what this meant, but remained silent. It was not long before another eunuch came out to announce that Yuan Chun had passed away. Page 198. While Dai Yu was walking outside the bamboo lodge, she realized she had left her handkerchief behind, so instructed Zijuan to go back to her room and fetch it for her. When she reached the rock where she had buried the dead blossom with Bao Yu, she heard someone crying. She soon found Sister Namskul, one of the Lady Dowager's servants, who was upset as she had been beaten by one of the older serving lady. "Why did she do this to you?" Dai Yu asked. "I don't know. All I did was mention the upcoming wedding of Master Bao Yu and Miss Bao Chai, Master Bao Yu and Miss Bao Chai," the sobbing girl replied. Dai Yu felt as if she had been slapped around in face. She clutched her chest and tried to sob, but no sound emerged from her open mouth. Her heart was filled with so many bitter, frantic feelings that she found it hard to remain standing. By the time Zijuan had returned with a handkerchief, she found Dai Yu wandering vacantly through the garden, her pale face a mask of grief. A mask of grief. Page 198. While Dai Yu was walking outside the bamboo lodge, she realized she had left her handkerchief behind, so instructed Zijuan to go back to her room and fetch it for her. When she reached the rock where she had buried the dead blossom with Bao Yu, she heard someone crying. She soon found Sister Namskul, one of the Lady Dowager's servants, who was upset as she had been beaten by one of the older serving lady. "Why did she do this to you?" Dai Yu asked. "I don't know. All I did was mention the upcoming wedding of Master Bao Yu and Miss Bao Chai, Master Bao Yu and Miss Bao Chai," the sobbing girl replied. Dai Yu felt as if she had been slapped around in face. She clutched her chest and tried to sob, but no sound emerged from her open mouth. Her heart was filled with so many bitter, frantic feelings that she found it hard to remain standing. By the time Zijuan had returned with a handkerchief, she found Dai Yu wandering vacantly through the garden, her pale face a mask of grief. A mask of grief.